ဒီမှာဒီပကြီးကားကြီးကနော်အဲ့ဒါဘသူပုံလဲသမီးသိလား
သိပါတယ်
ကဲဘသူပုံလဲဖွားဖွားကိုပြောပါအောင်
မြန်မာနိုင်ငံနောက်ဆုံးရှင်ပြည်တီဘောမင်းနဲ့
ဘိုးတော်တီဘောမင်းနဲ့
ဘွားတော်စုဖျားလက်
ဟုတ်ပြီအဲ့တော့ဒီဘိုးတော်နဲ့ဘွားတော်မှာသမီးတော်ဘယ်နှပါရှိလဲသမီး
၄ပါ
၄ပါဟုတ်ပြီအဲ့ဒီဟာမှသမီးတော်၄ပါနဲ့တဖြည်းဖြည်းနဲ့ဖွားတို့ဖိုးတို့နောက်အခုအထိသမီးတို့ဖြစ်လာတာမြန်မာနိုင်ငံရဲ့နောက်ဆုံးရှင်ဘုရင်ကြီးနဲ့နော်ဒီမိဖုရားကြီးဘွားတော်စုဖျားလက်နဲ့အမျိုးတော်တယ်မလားအဲ့လိုတော်လို့ရှိရင်တစ်ချိန်လုံးကမန္တလေး
A long time ago, in a land known as Burma, there lived a line of kings who ruled one of the richest regions in the world for more than 1,000 years. It all came to an end in 1885 with the reign of King Thibaw. This is the story of the last king of Burma, told more than 130 years later through the descendants of his royal blood. As a young 19-year-old, King Thibaw inherited one of the biggest kingdoms in Southeast Asia, that he ruled from the famed Golden Palace in Mandalay. Spread across more than 1,000 acres, the Golden Palace was built to be an impenetrable fortress. An unscalable wall surrounded the palace. It was protected by a deep moat, designed to keep advancing armies at bay. But it was not just earthly invasions the kings were worried about. Astrologers have been predicting the lives of the people of Myanmar for thousands of years. Suyaji's family have been astrologers for 8 generations. His grandfather was the astrologer in residence at King Thibaw's court. Burmese kings were superstitious beings and consulted astrologers on everything concerning life, death, and even architecture. The astrologers advised the king to build watchtowers on the roofs. These were manned 24 hours a day by soldiers scouting for one of the king's biggest foes. Birds of prey were seen as bad omens to the king's reign, and it was imperative to keep them away. But it was not the only prediction the astrologers made for the king. The Golden Palace was built anyway, and King Thibaw was surrounded by teak, gold, and rubies. The most opulent building was 23 stories high and covered in gold. This was considered to be the center of the universe because it housed the king's throne. Yutan Sui is the deputy cultural minister, who is also an historian of all things royal.
This is the lion throne. It's made of gold. The king and the chief queen, they sit on it. Nowadays, if you want to kill the king, you can shoot it. But at that time, you have to go and kill him with a knife. So that's why it's so high that nobody can reach it.
King Thibaw lived the life. He ate in gold plates. He walked in golden shoes, lived in a golden palace, and even spat into a golden spittoon.
Solid gold. Gold slipper, golden fan. Huh? Everything. They only use pure gold. Burmese people believe that the king was the future Buddha. He owns everything, even the life of our people. The king is sacred for them, for the people.
No one was above King Thibaw. He owned every object and every person on the land. He ruled one of the richest kingdoms in the world, so keeping his throne was not going to be easy. Five months after ascending the throne, King Thibaw's ministers ordered more than 80 royal family members to be bludgeoned to death. The massacre lasted for 3 days, executed to the tune of traditional theater. With his family out of the way, there was just one last threat remaining: the British Empire. After 2 wars with the Burmese kingdom, the British Empire controlled large swaths of Lower Burma. And now, they were fighting a propaganda war.
The British people at that time, they enlarged the story, you see. They want Thibaw to be known as a bad king. They even say that he's a drunkard, which he don't drink anything.
On the pretense of removing